Okay, I'm making this video to remind you about this is multiply. Okay, on the left here is um, multiplying and dividing. There are rules for multiplying and dividing. When we multiply, this means multiply with our parentheses here. Okay, two positives. The answer is always positive. Okay, the answer is always positive. If we multiply two positives, you're going to always get it a positive. If I multiply two negatives, I always get a positive. If I only have one negative, so negative times positive always equals a negative. A positive times a negative always equals a negative. Once we have that one negative in there, it throws that to a negative. But if I have two negatives, when I multiply, they cancel each other out. And this also works for division. So like 4 divided by 2 is a positive 2. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is a positive 2. All right. Now, for adding and subtracting, there are no rules. Okay, a lot of people think, that's the rule? The two positive always equal positive. There are no rules for addition and subtraction. You have to understand what's going on. Let me give you an example. Okay, I have a positive 2 minus 3, which is the same thing as 2 plus negative 3. These two are exactly the same problem. Okay, 2 minus 3 or 2 plus negative 3, the same thing. Okay, you want to remember, go back to what we learned as far as a number line or as far as money. Okay, you can think in terms of a thermometer. So if I go to so if this is 0 and I go to positive 2, 1, 2, okay, here's positive 2, and then I go minus 3 or plus negative 3, the same thing. That means I go down 3. 1, 2, 3. So my answer is at negative 1, right? Negative 1. This is negative 1. Now, that is one positive and one negative, right? People are, oh, is that minus 3 or negative 3? This problem here is the same thing as this problem. Okay, so I'm not going to say, oh, that's a negative, because 2 minus 3 and 2 plus negative 3 are the same thing. So, but then if you put the negative on the negative 2, so negative 2 plus 3, it's not negative 1. If I go to my thermometer again, or my number line, and I go down to negative 2, so I go down, first go down here, negative 2, and then I go up 3. What did I end up at? I ended up at positive 1. So there's the difference, okay? So these rules over here do not work for addition and subtraction. What about negative, negative? Well, if I have a negative 2 minus 3, so think of the thermometer. Think of the thermometer. So if this is at 0, I go down negative 2. What do I do if I'm taking away 3 or I'm adding a negative 3? The same thing. I keep on going, 3 more. So basically what I do is I add them together without the negative. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and then I apply the negative. So it goes down to negative 5. What about 4 plus negative 2? I go up 4 and then down 2. So that would give me 2. Okay. Negative 2 plus negative 3 again, same thing. That is negative 5. So just a review. I'm going to be doing more little reviews later because, as you know, you've started to see you're having to add fractions, multiply fractions. So I'll be doing some videos about fractions, but I wanted to do the integer one because I wanted you to remember that there are rules for multiplication and division, but not for addition and subtraction.